Good afternoon, everyone. So, obviously, we're adjusting to this new kind of normal. So, thank you for clarifying that. And this afternoon, I will be talking about our agenda. So, first of all, we'll get a snapshot of what's happening today when it comes to the type of work that we do. Secondly, how do we enable inspiration to our customers in this kind of setup of digital world? And we'll also show you the differentiators of HP, particularly the ZBook lineup, and how do we offer this to our customers. And lastly, we'll be talking about how to upsell the ZBook lineup to our customers. So let's start. So again, we are in this new kind of normal, and the good thing here is that most human beings are adaptable to these different kinds of environment. As we remember, just more than a month ago, we are living our normal lives, but suddenly we are changed into a very abrupt situation wherein all of us has to grab our things from the office. That could be your desktop computer, your notebook computer, your monitors, and whatever, to bring everything home and set up this home office that we now have today. So actually, everyone in the world are doing the same thing. Okay, and across any industry, across any country, across any economy, because all of us have been affected by the COVID virus. Okay, so actually being adaptable means we need to be seen and we need to be heard, and we still have to remain productive. Of course, thinking about our customers, this is a very good time for us to be more emphatic, giving our customers time to listen to their um, situations. Okay, because this is a very different normal. Okay, so the way that we work, the way that we deal with our customers has also changed. Okay, so everything right now is everything is being done in virtual mode, especially talking or reaching to our customers, reaching out to our customers. So this is a kind of new normal for us. And again, secondly, if we have kids, we have a new competition when it comes to bandwidth, right? So, especially if we have families, and especially if we have kids or teenagers living with us. So, that would be the current situation. Very fortunate for you, for those customers who are living alone, so they own the bandwidth. And at the same time, the healthcare that we know today is a very different healthcare industry. So we know what's happening there. So just to give you a snapshot of the situation in numbers. So you could imagine that there are about 860 million students who are now in their homes. So this is worldwide. Okay, so most of the students today are either learning from home or taking virtual classes or being given a ton of homeworks in order to finish school, okay, or to finish their programs. And at the same time, because of that, the internet is being congested of about 20% increase in web traffic. Okay, so this is based in the US, and this is actually also reality here in the country. And thirdly, we also have uh, we also have 2/3 of the parents, no, have having disruptions when it comes to competing with bandwidth, as I mentioned. Okay, so and added to that, okay, most of the employees are working from home, obviously, and about 60% they don't have dedicated workspace, meaning anyone can just work in their bedrooms, anyone can just work in their living rooms, probably in their dining rooms. There's no dedicated workspace. Okay, and some of them are even challenged when it comes to space. And of course, in terms of business travel, obviously it's more than 70% reduction in business travel. There's even a local travel is not allowed. Even going from one town to another or one city to another, you're not allowed to travel at this point in time. Okay, so if you are a non-essential in terms of the situation. So this is the type of situation that we have right now. All of us are adjusting. All of us are looking for ways to work very differently from the office that we know. And this will go on. This will drag on for probably a few more weeks, a few more months, and hopefully not, but it may take a year or more if a vaccine has not been found yet. So having this type of normal will be the new normal for all of us. And this is a good opportunity for us to deal with our customers in a different way. And there will be many other opportunities that we'll see as they also have their own realizations in terms of working from home. So, so the type of end users that we now have today are very different from what we know before. So, but in every end user, there is a persona to need to have this type of digital work, okay, digital workspace, digital work style that they need to have. And at the same time, the trends that we have, actually HP has been talking about mobility in the past probably 5 years or more, but we did not expect that mobility in terms of staying at home and being mobile, probably going from one room to another will be the new mobility probably. So most of our workforce has become mobile and dispersed. Okay, and imagine that, no? So, say for example, one company will have probably 100 employees, and you could imagine 100 different types of bandwidth that they have. So, of course, most businesses are also challenged with that kind of setup. So, how do our customers deal with maintaining their business? How do they maintain keeping in contact with their own customers? Aside from that, security is also a top priority, most especially today, because not all, say for example, network setup in the home is not really meant for use as a business tool. Okay, so that means it could be prone to security compromises, security breaches. Another thing is especially the creative professionals that we know, those end users who are dealing with probably rendering or doing digital content. Okay, there will also be challenges because the workflows have been affected. Before, they just need to copy a gigabyte or more of project to a colleague by simply handing down their USB drive just beside them. But today they need to upload that large of file in the cloud so that they would be able to access it even and do that remotely. Okay, which is obviously already a big challenge. So because of that, because of those things, okay, before we go there, we also see this type of examples of content creators, like for example, doing images, high resolution images, designing graphics stuff from animation to a static graphic, etc. Those for those doing digital films and digital animations. So as you can see, this particular segment is really is mostly has probably the biggest impact to this kind of setup. So that this type of just to look at the workflow that they need to have is, of course, they need to meet deadlines for their projects, and imagine doing that remotely. They have to be creative, which is very challenging for some in this kind of situation. How do you find creativity? How do you keep yourself inspired in this type of new normal? And how to work anywhere. So obviously, the anywhere that we know today is our home. So anywhere could be any room, right? So this type of workflow has also been modified today. So with that, you need to looking at this basic workflow for a typical digital content creator. As you can see, the most critical here is actually the portion of doing the design and doing the final render for their projects, and this is the most critical to their business. So imagine having difficulties in design will definitely hamper their deadlines. They definitely will definitely their productivity will be affected. Okay, and at the same time, most especially rendering, because imagine not all end users will be using their office computer. They will be using their home computer for doing these things, which is not really meant for for that type of business or industry, right? So as HP, we need to provide this type of devices that our customers can take a look at so that they would be able to address these types of challenges. So how do we enable inspiration? So first of all, we need to take a look at productivity. Okay, so productivity meaning how to adjust to this new type of workflow. Productivity meaning how do we provide our customers, giving them a better solution than just a gaming graphics card or gaming graphics in their computers? Or how do we allow our customers run their Adobe Photoshop or AutoCAD software um, to run simultaneously, which they can't do in their home computers. So that's for productivity. Next one is mobility, right? So mobility meaning how long does the battery life last when it comes to having working mobile. Okay, and secondly, the different types of connections. Today, not all, as I mentioned, not all end users will have the same connectivity as their other colleagues. Okay, and lastly, as I mentioned, we are dealing about security. Okay, so let's take a closer look at that. When it comes to security, actually this has been covered by our colleague last week, dealing with the different security features that we now offer in most of our HP personal system devices. So those security features like protecting your BIOS from being compromised or being attacked by a hacker or by a malware. Other vendors has just realized this, that this is a potential threat, and it's just only this year that they have come up with a solution. HP has been doing this since 2014, and in fact, um, we have this security feature called Sure Start, which is now on Gen 5 in most of our devices. And those other security features like when you connect to a website, when you run your office applications, etc. Okay, so we are very keen on keeping our endpoint devices secure, both for PC and print. Okay, so just to give you an overview of what Zay is, as you saw in the first slide, Zay, what is Zay? Actually, that is a branding for our workstation devices, both for desktop workstations and mobile workstations. Zay is actually the last letter of the alphabet. Zay is the ultimate end game. a end game tool or device for our customers when it comes to heavy graphic usage or processor intensive applications. Okay, so these are high-end computers that's really meant for those types of applications. Okay, so zooming into ZBooks, because today most customers are keen on looking into notebooks when it comes to computing devices. Okay, in this new normal, they realize that a simple tablet will not give them the productivity that they need. It won't be able to do rendering. It won't be able to run multiple applications all at the same time. Tablets are very small, have very small screens, and as you can see, some of them if they have notebooks, they intend to connect their notebooks to a television, LED TV, okay, which of course they will give them that appreciation that they can have a second monitor having that high resolution display. But for how long? Because televisions, LED TVs can only last for about 4 hours straight. If you use that for business use, okay, it will burn your LED display. Okay, so that's those realizations that we need to lead our customers to that kind of dilemma. Okay, so what we can actually show them, our customers, is of course if they are looking for a lightweight notebook that can do rendering, we have the 14-inch ZBook 14 uh, that is capable of running Adobe or AutoCAD. Okay, then imagine you can pair this to another industry grade monitor instead of the LED TV that we mentioned earlier. Okay, so instead of connecting their ZBooks to a TV, why not use an external monitor which is capable of doing about for even 24/7 use of display. Okay, LED TVs will not be able to last that long if you use that for that type of work. We also have some other 15-inch light ultralight ZBooks, okay, that can also do rendering, and those what we call the what we call a desktop performance notebook like the ZBook 15 and 17-inch. Okay, so these types of mobile workstations will give our customers that peace of mind in order to be productive, in order to be mobile, and in order to be um, in capable of having their data secure in these times. Okay, and of course, we also have different Z displays that we also offer aside from our Elite displays and Pro display monitors. This is really meant for digital content use, especially those customers looking for a particular color. Of course, when you use the LED TV, you won't see the exact red or the exact blue or the exact green that the customer wanted. So we have these types of monitors that are capable of giving that color gamut for their applications. Then we also, if your customers are looking for a mobile workstation that is very affordable and still capable of doing these types of applications, we also have the 15V. Okay, and you can also match again this 15V with our Z displays. So actually, you can mix and match whatever Z displays or Elite displays or Pro displays that you would or our customers would look for. Okay, so that doesn't mean that you are simply fixed to a Z display when you use ZBook. Okay, so you can actually use any HP commercial displays to these types of situation because some customers would look for two external displays that to be connected to their ZBook. Of course, that is for using their docking stations. Okay, so we also have different solutions for different users. Okay, so this is just an example of how do we position our ZBook lineup to different types of customers, because as we know, CAD users are very particular on the device that they use. Okay, so they don't use a gaming laptop or a gaming PC in order for them to render, because rendering must not take so many number of hours, because they have a deadline. They have a project that needs to be done. They have a timeline that needs to be met. So that's the reason why they need to use high-powered PCs in order to keep up with that kind of demand. So that's the reason why if you have CAD customers or computer-aided design customers looking for this type of solution, we have this lineup. Okay, as you see on the slide. Same thing for the building information management. Okay, for those designing buildings, we also have these types of solutions. We also have for product design. So there are particular requirements that our customer needs. So the very key here is to really listen to what the customer needs. Okay, otherwise they could get an underspec ZBook or an underspec PC, okay, in order to finish their project. Okay, and we also have devices that can do 3D simulations. Okay, so we have different solutions in those types of end users. And for the typical digital home end user, no, we have for photographers, we have graphics designers running these types of applications, for those doing video rendering, okay, and for those digital artists, etc. So we need to know what they really need. Actually, it's not just the PC, it's more of an ecosystem, because setting up a home workspace would take uh, would really take some adjustments or some tweaking if you want. Okay, say for example, how do our customers, if would our customers like two monitors, or do they need an external keyboard or mouse? Because most of them are much more comfortable of using those, especially when they're doing projects. Because when they do projects, they don't just do it for 8 hours. It's even more than that. Okay, so we really need to know these types of working style. Okay, so talking about, we also need to discuss about ergonomics also. Okay, so maybe this is the last part of our discussion for this afternoon. So these are just some guides. So this is not a, a strict rule that we need to follow, but this is more of a guide in order for us to listen and provide the correct solution to our customers working from home. Okay, so first of all, we need to support user resiliency. Okay, so that's number one. We need to listen and empathize to what our customers need. So where are they working? Do our customers connect to a public Wi-Fi, say in a condo setup or probably in a compound? Okay, conference calls, is this a daily thing? Okay, so how mobile are their end users? So we need to know those details. And of course, if we can offer those types of solutions, we have some small and light notebooks or ZBooks, and that is capable of doing conferencing solutions. Um, if you would if you would take a look at my setup today, I'm not using any headset. I'm just using the internal microphone of my HP commercial notebook. So as you can see, you don't hear any ambient noise at the background, simply because it has a built-in noise canceling feature. And at the same time, I'm using the internal speakers of my notebook, because it provides the high definition audio that I need when I am in this room. So these types of solution, no, it's much more convenient than putting on a microphone, then a headset or a headset microphone, and use that for X number of hours. Okay, so we need to know that the end user must be, how resilient must be our end users be, or our end customers be, when they use these devices. And also, we need to listen also to the evolving work style. So again, this is a very different type of situation. Okay, the new normal. Our customers have a very different understanding of the new normal that they have. The new normal for them could be a very difficult time. A new normal for them could be a very challenging time. So we really need to empathize with them. Okay, so and we really need to acknowledge their situation, and at the same time really closely provide them the right solutions that they need. Of course, how do we enable productivity in this new normal? Okay, so as I mentioned, we have docking stations. If the customer needs to connect different devices, we have different solutions if they need to multitask, etc. So these are the things that we need to consider. And of course, talking about security. So again, did you know that we have ZBooks that have a built-in 4G capability? So if customers would like to have, or who doesn't have any Wi-Fi connections, or cannot tether their mobile phones as a modem to connect to the 4G connection, so we can offer ZBooks which are capable of doing 4G LTE. Okay, so how do we upsell? So basically, we need to look at the lowest hanging fruit when it comes to our customers. So customers looking for performance, which is customers demanding for heavy workloads when in terms of very large file sizes or projects. Okay, very specialized applications, and those particulars like Xeon processors, discrete graphics. Did you know that ZBook is capable of the ZBook lineup has a maximum of about 16 gig of video memory, discrete graphics in our 17-inch ZBook. Okay, so those things, no? So because these are the things that our customers are looking for when it comes to doing rendering. Okay, and for those other customers that are simply would like to upgrade their home PCs probably, or need a better PC, so we can give them some long life cycle devices. Okay, of course, reliability. ZBook, by the way, is designed to stand business rugged situations. Talking about 120,000 hours of different testings being done on those ZBooks. And of course, extra resources, and when they need to standardize, all end users that would use a very specific ZBook model. Okay, so of course, we need to ask our customers for details. Okay, the better details that we get, the better solutions that we can offer to them. We need to understand their situation today. How do they do workflows right now? So especially doing things remotely. And of course, we need to review the ZBook lineup. So we have these all available in the HP Sales Central. You can also just Google ZBook, and it will give you all the links that you need for quick specs, for data sheets, for case studies, etc. And obviously, the talk. Thank you for WSI for giving us this kind of channel in order for us to be refreshed with the products that we sell our customers. And we need to be ready to discuss these solutions against our competitors. Okay, so those things. So just to, before I wrap up, let me just show you some of the differentiators that HP has to offer. Again, I mentioned about 120,000 hours of testing done on ZBooks, giving us that superior reliability, sustainability. So in terms of the green environment, HP is totally dedicated to this sustainability. Okay, so slowly we are using recycled plastic contents, compliance to EPIT certifications, etc. So we are actually into the green environment. Especially today, it's Earth Day, so you have seen the promotions of HP wherein we use plastic plastic water bottles being converted into computer sleeves, notebook sleeves. Imagine that. Okay, so we have that kind of initiative. And of course, for ZBook, we have this tool wherein it can optimize your system to run your particular software applications. By the way, ZBooks are certified by the ISVs, Adobe, Autodesk, SolidWorks, etc. So we have this tool, Performance Advisor, wherein they can fine tune your system to adapt to your applications. So say, for example, you need to upgrade to this version of your graphics driver in order for you to run Adobe Photoshop perfectly. You need to update this device, etc. So this is being done by the Performance Advisor itself. It communicates well with the end user. And so there. So, and aside from that, let me just highlight this one. We have what we call Z Central Remote Boost. So this is actually a tool wherein our customers can run their applications remotely. Say for example, a CAD application, they can actually access their CAD application remotely. Say for example, in their office, a workstation running their office, they can just connect to their network and they can just access the project and edit and render that project remotely. So that is being used in our ZBooks through the Z Central Remote Boost solution. Okay, so actually this is the entire lineup of Z by HP. So again, Z is our branding for our mobile workstations. We call them ZBooks. And we have different screen sizes depending on the needs of our customers. We have different specs, configurations, and of course, most of the models that we have is available with WSI. Okay, so you can just inquire about it. Okay, so the specs are with them, so they can just provide you the stocks that our customers need. Okay, so to action. So basically, we need to proactively address the new normal. Okay, so we need to communicate well to our customers, and at the same time, get their trust. Okay, and of course, how to give them inspiration to be creative, to be productive in these types of situation, despite the challenges, and of course, how do we um, how do we make them adapt to this type of situation considering security? Okay. So that ends my presentation. Okay, so looking forward again to have this webinar, and we'd like to thank WSI for providing this platform. Again, HP is very dedicated and committed to our partners and resellers. We'd like to thank you for keeping in touch. Thank you for attending this webinar, and we'd like to thank you for being present as a frontline to our customers also. Okay, thank you.